Now hire swim instructors and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
When you choose J-Dog Junk Removal, you're not just hiring a junk removal service. You're investing in a company that believes in making a lasting impact on the lives of our veterans and our community. J-Dog is dedicated to giving back to our local veteran organizations. They have donated over $50,000 in materials and services, ensuring that these valuable organizations have the resources they need to support our veterans. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Oh boy, not again.
Do you feel this way every time there's rain in the forecast? Amy Salt, owner of CrossFit Salt to Tear in the Riverside area, definitely did.
I had major rain anxiety from all the water collecting outside my gym. That's why I'm so happy I reached out to Clearwater Drainage. John came out, designed a system that moved the water off of my property, and all my kettlebells are now dry. I'm sleeping so much better at night.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Elevate your party game to the next level with Mystic Cornhole Company. Visit their showroom now on the corner of Hogan and Parental Home Road. It's your one-stop destination for all things cornhole. MysticCornhole.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, with answers to the questions I'm asked the most. Yes, we are local, and no, I'm not hiring an actor to read these commercials. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let's welcome in August, huh? It's here. Whether you're ready or not, but this is Duval, Ballou. Of course they're ready. No, they're ready for September. It's only a matter of time when you start getting can the preseason end already? Can we get to the start of the regular season? Pads on today, and I thought it was a very good practice for the Jaguars. I did a little bit of, I wouldn't call it complaining yesterday, but the want. My want was red zone. Give me red zone. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Like Jake Kyle said, you got to give it to me, right? With Magic Dick on harmonica, the late Magic Dick. Don't worry about putting Jake Isles in the Hall of Fame. As long as you have Janet Jackson in there, we're fine. But they didn't work on it yesterday. And if you were to look at this offense, because all the problems right now appear to be on the defensive side of the football, and we're going to get there momentarily, but let's remember two things with this defense. Even though it had kind of a bend but do not break feel to it, they still improved by 6 points a game last year. Okay, they got it down to 20.6 a game. And if you are able to do that, you're going to win a heck of a lot of football games. You're trying to tell me that Trevor Lawrence in this offense can't score 21 points a game. All right, they increased their total by almost 9 to 23.8. Doug Peterson is telling us that he wants 7 more points per. He wants 30 a game. And I love it. I think there's a chance that could happen. The biggest question mark with that offense is what are they going to do inside the red zone? 20 yards and in. Can they push it in for 7? No more of this 3. And it was an alarming statistic a year ago, just over 50%, right? They were 31 of 58 for the year, 53.4%. Tank Bigsby has looked just sensational. And I got to believe that if it's, first and goal, second and goal, and they're inside the 2.5-yard line, just hand it to Tank. And it appears to me that he looks like he's a guy who's going to bring at least that first tackler with him, make that first tackler miss. It's going to take a second guy, maybe a third guy to bring him down. And, I get that I'm talking to a very intelligent football audience, okay? And we all do understand that it's a lot tougher to move the football once you're in the red zone compared to when you take the ball at the 20 and or 25-yard line, with obviously even more rule changes coming into play for the 2023 NFL season. But they have to get better there. And it cost them. It cost them on opening day against Houston. It cost them in London against Denver. And, Trevor Lawrence has had, I think, a really good training camp. Today may have been his best practice yet. A reported 7 red zone touchdowns. Zay Jones was a star today, with Calvin Ridley having to pull himself out, spend some time in the cooling tent, remove the shoulders, remove the helmet. And I think that's fine for most of the listening audience and fans all across the country who love the Jaguars. It's kind of like, hey, we already have seen, or we've already have heard enough when it comes to Calvin Ridley. The guy can play, just, get him ready for the opener. The other side of that would be, well, wait a minute. He hasn't hadn't really done anything in 2 years. He needs some rest. But it was a big day for Zay Jones, and it was a big day today for Garrett Prince, who's having a really, really good camp. To me, he was a bubble guy, maybe a practice squad guy. Right now, I think he's the second tight end. I honestly believe that. He's ahead of Brenton Strange at this point. Now, he's only a rookie, and, of course, he's got plenty of pedigree because of his draft status. I think he's got a chance to be real good as well. But so far, Prince has outplayed him. But anyway, getting back to the red zone, that is something that this team has to really work on. And, during Monday's practice, it was a vertical day. There was a ton of 11-on-11. There was a ton of 7-on-7. There was a lot of deep balls being thrown. And it was a big play Monday, if you will. And the biggest play was Zay over Clay, right? Zay Jones over Chris Claybrooks. But and not as many people are doing it. It's so funny around here because you can just look at the litany of quarterbacks pre-Trevor. And there used to be like a grading system that was in place for like every beat writer. They would have for you exactly what they did on that particular day, completions to attempts. I think a couple of scribes still do that. I know Gary Smits did one day. But the point is not many are doing it. It's now more of an eye test as compared to going back into your notes and say, well, last Thursday, Trevor Lawrence was 22 for 29 passing. You don't get as much of that. It's not really the emphasis of what really people discuss. But one thing I've noticed so far in camp, there's no checkdowns. Unless they're designed one-on-one plays that they do during some individual drills early in practice, this has been a training camp where Trevor Lawrence has been throwing low percentage passes, deep balls. I don't want to say in the double coverage. That would be unfair. But, taking shots, taking chances, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, why not find out what you have as far as your accuracy and being able to get on the same page with these guys as far as their route running. The aforementioned pass yesterday that went to Zay Jones over Chris Claybrooks, that was a little bit of an underthrow. Okay? He's human. But the point I'm trying to make is if you really want, for instance, if Gardner Minshew was out here, my guess is that Gardner Minshew's percentage would be higher over the first 6 days of training camp than Trevor Lawrence, but Gardner Minshew would have taken the easy way out. He would have checked down and dumped it off to a tight end, or I'm telling you right now, you're going to see much, much more of the running backs catching the football out of the backfield this year. Travis Etienne, he laid one down yesterday, but he's made some really good grabs. And Tank Bigsby, some of these scouts, going back and reading those reports after he was selected, and, there's plenty of scouting services out there, and, you do it kind of reminds me of the recruiting world a little bit that, one guy says this and everyone kind of latches on. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who you should not trust when it comes to scouting. But it was amazing to me how many times I read that he had very questionable hands, right? And that he's not a third down back because of that very reason. Instead, he's an every down back. I do agree with that. He's talented enough to absolutely be an every down back. As a matter of fact, if Travis Etienne wasn't on this team, I think the Jaguars running back group is good enough. I don't think you'd see them making a run at Dalvin Cook or Elliott or bringing back Leonard Fournette. I think they feel comfortable about Hasty. I think they feel comfortable about Dearness Johnson. Snoop Connor is probably right now, pedaling uphill, if you will, upstream. If you will. I think he's the odd man out. But Tank Bigsby has shown flawless hands. And that goes back to, that early, was it rookie minicamp? Yeah, it was. It was that second day at goal line. I think it was a Saturday. And he caught like 3 touchdowns that were, actually that might have been OTAs. They all kind of run together for me. But what I'm getting at, it was an off-season performance by Tank Bigsby that was just sensational as far as what he was showing with his hand. So if you're getting any that, Trevor's missing, Trevor's off, Trevor's high with some balls, he is not taking the easy option. He's looking and trying some new things, and I love what I have seen so far. When Trevor Lawrence got here 3 years ago, he had just had shoulder surgery on his non-throwing arm. And remember some of the reports with the idiocy of the media, nationally speaking. Oh, my God, look, they already got Travis Etienne. He's playing wide receiver. He's lining up in the slot. They didn't do their homework. They didn't know that they didn't want anyone within 10 yards of Trevor Lawrence. They didn't want Travis Etienne or anyone else bumping into him. He wasn't going to hand the football off to him. But his pitch count was slowed then because of his rehabilitation process, again, with the non-throwing shoulder. I was talking about this a little bit earlier today with Hayes, and it's up if you want to check it out on our podcast, which you can get by going to 1010XL.com. We call it Death, Taxes, and Duval. So I don't remember last year to this year. It just feels like in the first 6 days, Trevor Lawrence has thrown the football much more than he did a year ago, and certainly the extent of those footballs, the vertical passes, going deep downfield, it's got to be thrilling right now for the Jaguar fans who have been able to get out there to the brand new, magnificent Miller Electric Center and see what he is doing with the football. And it gets me to this point, which I think is a massive one, okay? Maybe one of the biggest ones to define the Jaguars, not only this year, but each and every year moving forward. And that comes down to trust. It's such a easy word to say, but, let's be honest here. In some aspects of life, it's all about you, right? It's all about making sure you're okay, right? And, you'll say the right things. You'll do the right things. You're going to give you the canned answers. This is their livelihood. These guys very rarely are going to look at a coach and say, I'm not 100%. I cannot go. There's always the fear factor of losing your job to someone else. I understand that does not come into play with Trevor Lawrence. I get it. He's the face of the franchise. He's a top 5 quarterback right now in the NFL. Hell, in 2 or 3 years, he could be the best quarterback. in the NFL. It's like a Pete Prisco today. My old buddy, I've known Pete for 3 decades. He's going to pick him to be the MVP of the season this year. That's how blown away Prisco is early on. But back to trust. I believe it's there. I believe Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson, with Press Taylor, with Mike McCoy, with C.J. Beathard, that room, that if he's feeling as though he's overworked, if he gets up one day, shows up, and he feels a little bit of a strain or there's some tiredness in that arm, I got to believe that the relationship is so good that he's going to let him know. I don't have any idea what goes on behind the scenes in that room. But I would think that each and every day, Trevor Lawrence is asked, how you feeling? How's the arm? The doctors are asking. The trainers are asking. The personnel, the coaching personnel that I just mentioned are asking. But this gets to the point now where this relationship has evolved to the point where Trevor's going to say, yeah, I don't think I should throw as much today as I did Monday and Tuesday. I'm starting to feel a little bit of fatigue. So that is that whole trust issue, which I think great quarterbacks have and have had forever. You can go back to Shula and Dan Marino in this state. Maybe Tom Brady with Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians isn't the best example since I guess Brady and Leftwich had him whacked. But you understand where I'm going with this. So it's just something else to consider. A good day overall for the Jaguars. The only disappointment, we highlight pads are on. Yeah, but, I mean, it's not the way it was where you're seeing a lot of popping, where you're seeing a lot of one-on-ones. You're not seeing any tackling. Unfortunately, the one-on-ones were late, and they were, there was some distance between us and being able to see that, which was somewhat disappointing. As bad as the old practice field was, there was a place there where we could get a really good look at one-on-ones. We're not afforded that opportunity now in this just incredible new Miller Electric Center. And I got to imagine some of that's by design. These guys are smart. If they wanted to, they could flip the field, and they could put the one-on-ones right there in front of the stands and right there in front of the media. So I got to believe that that's partly by design. At least that's my particular opinion. But the pads going on is such a great thing, but there's not a lot of popping. Like if you would all of a sudden ask me on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, who really popped the pads today, I wouldn't have an answer for you. It still was a practice that was based more on speed and on skill and on being in the right position, both offensively and defensively. As far as just flat out getting after it in the ditch, you didn't get that today. And I don't think you're getting that for the most part anywhere throughout training camp. Perhaps a little bit more when they get to Detroit in a couple of weeks, when you have teams meet and they practice. Okay, you're going to pick it up just a little bit. But for the most part, that's not going to be the case with any team, including right here in Jacksonville. That was a good day today. Really the only concern was Anton Harrison, who wasn't involved whatsoever in any of the team drills. It was really kind of a mystery for a great deal of time. We were trying to figure out what was going on. It was reported after practice that it is a sore shoulder. Nothing to be, I guess, alarmed about. But, are you kidding me? How does he have a sore shoulder? They haven't even been involved in contact yet. So, that's scary to me. I'll be honest with you. He's a tough guy. I think he'll be fine. He'll do the right thing as far as treatment. And I understand it's August 1st. There's no reason to push him along. But, you're already without Cam. You're already without Ben Bartch. You're trying to figure out that left side. You at least want to get your right side first-round tackle rep after rep after rep after rep. His career was a left tackle. He had 23 starts, 21 at left tackle, only 2 at right tackle. He needs every rep, and he did not get them today. Let's hope that shoulder is better. And Doug Peterson will let us know tomorrow morning exactly, what is going on. I think it was D-Rock who got it, and I'm glad he did because, and listen, I love the Jaguars PR. I really do. They're good human beings. But it leaves them wondering, and then it makes the media speculate. When you don't get a report, let's say we didn't get that. Let's say we had no idea. There'd be incredible speculation today and tonight as to what is really going on with Anton Harrison, and we would not get that answer until 8 a.m. I do think it's smart to put out a fire. Before it starts to spread, be smart about it. And that's really the only issue, right? It would be a suspension or an injury. Anything else, you can wait for when the coach speaks the next day. But when you have your first-round draft pick just standing there and everyone's scratching their head saying, what's up, put out the fire. Just a bit of advice. And, I imagine the folks over there are like, hey, Ballou, here's what you can do with your advice. I'm just being honest. It makes a lot of sense. It really does. But he did say something, I guess, to D-Rock, and then it got out that it is only a sore shoulder. The incomparable J.J. LaSalva is still technically single here on the first day of August.
Hola. My shoulders are fine.
Not exactly a blockbuster Major League Baseball trade deadline outside of the 2 future Hall of Famers, Scherzer and Verlander.
Really, we hadn't had much movement. Although Jack Flaherty to the Orioles is very intriguing. He's not a guy that's like a household name for casuals, but baseball fans certainly know this guy. Right-handed pitcher, played for the Cardinals. Orioles are in first. They don't look like they're backing down anytime soon. This is a team that could potentially go to the World Series. But the Verlander move today was big. Going back to the Astros. The Astros looking to be the first team to repeat since the Yankees a very long time ago. This is big. I think the Astros are putting themselves in the driver's seat to win the American League.
As the late Burt Sugar once said, Jack Flaherty, he's not even a household name in his own home. Yeah. All of a sudden, man, you look at the state of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And what they have done the last 2 days. And the biggest question has to be Jacob deGrom. If he's able to, and I haven't seen anything on him the last couple
I thought he was out
weeks.
for the year. Did we just assume that?
Yeah, you know what? You may be right, and I missed it, but my goodness. And, they also put if it wasn't for Ohtani, I think you can make a case right now that Corey Seager would, be 2, 3, or 4 as far as the MVP. The guy's hitting 350. The only problem is that he's missed a lot of games. But we'll see.
DeGrom not coming back till August of 2024.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the Chris Sale deal. He just cannot get healthy. And what did he make? I mean, he's bringing in like $30 million this year.
And I was
something crazy like that.
As a Braves fan, I really wanted them to go after him this year.
You said August of 2024.
Yeah. So he signed a 5-year, $185.
What do you have, Tommy John?
He did. 5-year, $85 million, $185 million.
I don't know how I missed that. I must have been on some Quaaludes or something that day. All right, we got a lot to do. It's always good to have you with us. He is J.J. LaSalva. I am Rick Ballou, thrilled to be here with you on a Tuesday night after the ladies of Helmets and Heels. The rest of the week, 6 to 8, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. When we come back, much more from Day 6 as well as Day 1 in pads for the Jaguars. And I also had a sit-down with Parker Washington, wide receiver, drafted out of Penn State. We're going to play that for you as we go into the night on this Tuesday.
She's here? Where? Where is she? Singing along to every word at the top of her lungs.
And what does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with anything.
Lauren Brooks.
I'm just getting started.
Weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Gosh, you're an upbeat lady.
Introducing an exciting update from DuckDuckRooter. Mia here and my friends at DuckDuck are thrilled to expand on their already long line of home and business services with the launch of Duck Duck Air Conditioning. As a licensed mechanical contractor, the skilled Duck Duck Air Conditioning team is equipped to handle any HVAC and refrigeration project you can throw at them. Folks, it is hot outside. There is no reason to be hot inside. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
Hey folks, you know you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of. It's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances performance in the bedroom. Call 904-664-8217.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
I want to make our backyard into a paradise, but where do I start?
A few people I know chose CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They do it all: fire pits, pergolas, and custom outdoor kitchens.
That sounds convenient, but I don't want a half dozen subcontractors milling around.
CSS is a licensed contractor, so they do 100% of the work themselves, from start to finish.
That's perfect. Let's get an estimate.
Well, I already toured their showroom last week.
Ha! Well, what are we waiting for? Let's do it.
CSSOutdoor.com.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch sports with a taco in each hand, or with a taco in one hand and a surfboard in the other. Don here from Taco Lou. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. We always have the game on here, or you can call in a to-go order to watch at home, or let us cater your next watch party. Catering for the holidays? No problem. Taco Lou in Jack's Beach. Cheers to tacos, sports, holidays with the family, and tequila.
When you have an orthopedic injury and need a specialist, I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like a pro. If you're in need of orthopedic care, call us today. We genuinely appreciate our patients and look forward to helping you. Online at se-ortho.com.
Where everyone is treated like a pro.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Business owners know Andy's Automotive and Truck Services for routine fleet maintenance or emergency repairs. Andy's offers after-hours and mobile service to minimize downtime and keep your fleet on the road. Visit andysats.com.
What is the only NFL team to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers twice in the same season at Heinz Field?
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are the only NFL team to beat the Steelers twice at Heinz Field in the same season, and they've done it twice.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Major League Baseball is always on at Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill. Whether you're a Ray, Cub, or even Yankee, Perfect Rag Billiards always has all the games live. Tons of awesome beer and food specials for the weekend, from Fireball Fridays, Seltzer Saturdays, and brunch on Sundays. That, along with tons of pool tables, shuffleboards, darts, and more. Get on out of the house for the action and come to Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, where you can catch all the MLB action. Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, a great place to watch sports.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, getting a lot of good stuff rolling in on the text line. All right, 641-1010 if you want to join the conversation. That is always brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. some pretty good ones today, including the 34-55. Yeah, who played right tackle today? For the most part, it was Josh Wells. Blake Hance took some snaps. But, yeah, that primarily, that is exactly what you saw today. So, Josh Wells is a veteran. Josh Wells has done some nice things. There's going to be growing pains for Anton Harrison, but you want to see him out there. It'll be interesting to see what Doug Peterson says tomorrow about that. There hasn't been a lot of contact. It could have been a freak situation that happened out on the practice field. Weightlifting, training, something could have happened there. I'm just speculating here. I don't know. But I would have to believe that at 8 a.m. tomorrow, that'll be the first question that Doug Peterson is asked. Here's a good one, too. I want to get to this after the Parker Washington interview. Ballou, do you agree with Hayes that they should bring back Yannick Ngakoue? Talked to quite a few people about that today on the sideline, and I as bad as the pass rush was, and it's obvious, after Josh Allen, there is a major drop-off, okay? The guy I talked with yesterday, Walker Little, he had an outstanding day in one-on-ones. He blew up Josh Allen. He blew up Trayvon Walker. And Walker just doesn't have the moves right now. He doesn't have the technique. He's not a savvy pass rusher. He's learning how to become one. Josh Allen is real good. And let us not, please, let's not forget that Josh Allen was a top 5 guy as far as pressures. He just could not complete the deal with sacks. But I'm going to talk about defensive end after this interview and pass rushing after this interview. I'm also going to talk about what I think is even more of an issue for this football team right now, and that is the slot, all right, the nickel corner. Well, we'll get to that momentarily. Right now, though, let's bring in Parker Washington, the second member from Penn State selected by the Jaguars after tight end Brenton Strange. This is a guy who has slot written all over him. With his size, he's probably 5'9.5", 5'10". He has the ability to make people miss. He returned punts early on in his career at Penn State. He returned kicks last year at Penn State. Obviously, Jamal Agnew is the return guy, but you always need to have a second and third guy, involved in that rotation. So after today's practice, I had an opportunity to sit down with Jaguars wide receiver rookie Parker Washington. First day of practice in pads here, day 6 overall for the Jaguars. We're joined by rookie out of Penn State, wide receiver Parker Washington. How did it feel today, buddy?
Oh, it was a great first day. I was excited to get back out there, and I'm ready and glad to continue to keep working.
Yeah. First off, what do you think of the Miller Electric Center?
Oh, it's beautiful. Every day I walk in the building, I'm enjoying it, just soaking it all in, enjoying the moment each and every day. It's been a blessing, and I'm excited to keep coming here.
It's hot, but it's not really Duval hot yet. Overall, have you been able to experience that, and what do you think it's going to be like as we move through the month of August?
Oh, no doubt. Definitely during the off season, I was out in Texas. It gets really humid out there as well in Houston. So I've been able to acclimate to that. It's not Penn State anymore. Right. But it's going to be exciting. I'm expecting it to get hotter. I'm ready for it. And that's why you work hard for these moments. Be able to work through this.
This is an offense that improved significantly last year. They improved by 9 points. And Doug Peterson, your coach, would like it to improve by another 7 points. What's it like to come into this already well-oiled machine and then your role in it?
Oh, it's just a great classroom. Like, you get a chance to learn each and every day. I learn something new every day. Yeah. And I'm taking notes, writing it down, and every moment I get, I want to work on those things the next day.
Very vocal position coach, man. Chad played here for a little bit, but, obviously coming over for Buffalo. Just your early feeling of him and what he's been able to to tell you and work with you during, your time together?
Oh, he does a really good job, like a great job. He's real detailed in our techniques. Like I said, when I say I get a chance to learn something new every day, he's one leading that, and he does a great job with that. Get something, challenges for you to work on each day. He's doing a great job.
How's it with the veterans? Zay and Christian and obviously Calvin coming in.
Oh, it's a great group. It's a great vet group. It's just a blessing to have that opportunity to have my chance to work with them. And it's been great. Like I said, I learn from them each and every day.
I noticed you were returning kicks today. I know you did that as a freshman. Last year you returned punts. Do you expect to be involved as far as the return game?
Wherever I need to help, I'm just ready to work and, just get this work out here at practice each and every day. And wherever I need to step in, I'll be ready.
Final question for you, Parker. Trevor Lawrence, what's it been like in your very, relatively new experience with him? How has that gone?
Oh, it's been great. He teaches guys. He shows them the way. Very great leader. You get a chance to get a good connection with him. He's going to do a great job. We all know that, man. I'm excited for him.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Parker Washington out of Penn State. All right, earlier today, thank you to Parker. Nice young man. Enjoyed that. Obviously, he was a sixth-round pick. There's no guarantee he makes this team. Jalen Camp was a sixth. I think he might have been a seventh-round pick a couple of years ago. And, this is what's different, okay? This is a better football team. Trent Baalke's done a really good job assembling his 90-man roster. I mean, he has. There's going to be some good tight ends, some good wide receivers cut, who hopefully the Jaguars are going to be able to stash on the practice squad. But I would think that, they don't have to go to the Jaguars practice squad. They have opportunities to go to other practice squads. And I know that you understand the NFL rule that if you want to sign a guy off of a practice squad, you must bring him on to your active roster for at least 3 games. But, all right, so you have Calvin, you have Christian, you have Zay. Zay Jones had a really good practice day, and he looks bigger. I want to celebrate again with Cedric Scott, the strength and conditioning coordinator. Done a wonderful job adding some size to this. To returning players, Zay Jones, dare I say, looks like a half step faster. He had the highlight of the day today, a touchdown pass just over Devin Lloyd. I'm going to get to Lloyd here in the defense in a minute because I thought Lloyd had a very encouraging practice a little bit earlier. But Agnew's your fourth, so they're going to keep 6, right? I guess on paper right now, I would say the 5th is Parker Washington, but all of a sudden, you look at Tim Jones, a guy that they like. They really do. I'm a big fan of Elijah Cooks, 6'4", 215 out of San Jose State. This is a big body. This is a guy who went up and extended and made a highlight reel type of grab on Monday. He's done some good things. Seth Williams out of Auburn. Had JJ and I talked about it yesterday. He had the toe drag swag in the corner of the end zone. He made another couple of nice plays today. Kevin Austin, remarkable improvement there. He had a big drop yesterday, which led to a interception for the undrafted free agent out of BYU, Caleb Hayes. But, Kevin Austin is a guy that they gave a little extra to a year ago. I think they gave him $230,000 guaranteed to be on the practice squad. That's pretty good living for a 21-year-old, right? $230K. You got a chance to make that again this year. I'm sure it's been extended. I know it's been extended into year number 2. Jacob Harris. I didn't even mention Kendrick Pryor, who is actually getting more burn today. Getting more reps today. So this is a very deep, wide receiving group that they have right now. And my guess is they keep 6, and then they'd like to take probably 3 of these guys and put them on the practice squad. That would be just my guess, but obviously we will see what does end up taking place. All right. Before I get to the defense, someone responded to my comment about Garrett Prince. Let me find that for you. All right, here it goes. The 0110 says, Ballou, Prince over Strange, or perhaps not so strange. I very well said. Okay, people are strange. Yeah, there is truth to draft status early. And what I mean by this is egos get involved. When you draft Brenton Strange, 61st overall, second round selection, he's going to get every opportunity in the world to become that second tight end when this football team does go into 2 tight end sets. And I saw that was reported a couple of places today. So now I can finally talk about that. All right? Jacksonville is lining up in much more 2 tight end sets, which is intriguing considering they have so much talent with those 3 wide receivers. But we all do know, if you really track the history of Doug Peterson, particularly his years in Philadelphia, he loves tight ends. He does. And I think right now he's got 3 that he can really trust. You get back to Luke Farrell, he's a blocking tight end. But in my opinion, this is no slight at all to Brenton Strange, who has incredible ability, okay? I really think this guy's got a chance to be something special, to the point where I thought it would be a 50-50 as to whether or not they would bring back Evan Ingram. I really did, because I thought that they had enough faith that this guy could take over. You know, obviously, Evan would play this year. It would have been under the franchise tag, but Strange would have been able to take over as early as 2024. But the guy who's turned all the heads so far in camp at tight end has been Garrett Prince, 6'5", 241 out of UAB. The guy I wanted to brag about was Sammy Reyes, right? Or, excuse me, Samus Reyes from Chile. Because you look at him, man, he's a gladiator. He's mammoth. And, you know, the only hope there would be, can he block? Could he be a Chris Manhertz type who's going to give you very, very little in that aspect of the game?
Don't we already have that with Luke Farrell here?
Yeah, and you know what? I keep reading that Luke Farrell's a great, or I keep hearing that Luke Farrell's a very good blocking tight end. I don't remember him doing much last year. They had the makeshift tight end in Ingram, and when they were going to block, you know, they went with Chris Manhertz. Yeah, so, you know, that leaves a little bit to be desired. I even talked with someone today who said they wouldn't be surprised if you saw the Jaguars bring back Mercedes Lewis. You could get him for nothing. You could get him for like $2 million.
I assume the Jets already got him because they're getting all of like Rodgers' old friends.
Yeah, and especially after Rodgers just gave up $35 million. But the point I'm trying to make, it's been a long time around here since you've had to look at wide receiver and tight end and say, boy, they're going to cut some good guys. They're going to cut some guys that have performed well. There's no guarantee at all that Garrett Prince makes this team. Absolutely none. But he has stood out early in camp. And remember, folks, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this since the Jaguars came into existence. Guys getting really, really hot in the offseason and really hot the first 2 weeks or so of camp. And then time kind of catches up with them and they begin to drift away. I hope that's not the case, but I do like what I see so far out of all the skill positions. I mean, C.J. Beathard's thrown the ball well. Nathan Rourke has some really nice passes. I mean, my guess is they cut him and try to place him on the practice squad. That'd be my guess. You know, I was going to say I kind of hope Rourke doesn't do too well where another team comes up and snatches him. But I think when you're looking at a third-string quarterback, if he has an opportunity to go somewhere else, you got to tip your cap, right? I mean, come on. I mean, if anything was to happen to number 16. With all due apologies, C.J. Beathard, Nathan Rourke, it's just not going to work. Okay? I mean, this team's talking about going deep into the playoffs, and that applies to about every other team around the NFL. So very happy with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Offensive line, all right, well, there's the mystery a little bit, and we do want to get into that. But as promised, on the other side, let's get to the defense now. Let's get into that a little bit. Hayes, Carline, and I did talk about it during our podcast today, death taxes in Duval. Hayes raised the question with Unique Ngakoue, so I do want to come back and talk about the pass rush situation here with the Jaguars. And again, to me, right now, even more alarming than that is the slot corner, the nickel on this football team. So all that's coming up. It's good to have you with us. Best way to join us is on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That number is 641-1010.
Professional radio broadcasters.
Hey, guy. Sorry. Dinner dozen gifts. A diner dozen.
That is awful.
So Cole.
I was flowing real good, then wasn't I?
You've got to be kidding me.
Professional, for crying out loud.
Who wrote this?
1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Find the middle of the fairway with your drives. Get the golf tips and talk to keep you straight.
That's a great tee shot.
On the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to Cam Locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Summertime is here, and it's time to cast those worries out. And Royal is here to help you do that with our Summer Termite Special featuring Centricon. Starting at just $249. That's right, I said $249, and that's installed.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 1st, 1971, Richard Petty wins the Dixie 500 in Atlanta, Georgia to become the first NASCAR driver to win $1 million in career earnings.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hey, Hicken here. I hope your summer's been as fun as mine. We had some great vacations, did some traveling. I must admit, though, I'm looking forward to everybody kind of getting back into order. My youngest going off to college. Everything got is settling down in the house. Man, the house is taking a beating. So the towel and grout, the carpets and rugs all need a good cleaning. Time to call Zero Res. Right now, Zero Res offering the hottest price of the year on towel and grout cleaning. Get your towel and grout cleaned and sealed 25% off. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward, Zero Res, spell it backward. Right way to clean.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Keeping your body healthy and active leads to a more vibrant life. A great place to do that is the First Coast YMCA. The Y is equipped with state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, plus group exercise studios where trainers host activities like yoga, Zumba, and cycling sessions. The full-court basketball gym and indoor 5-lane swimming pool are open year-round. The Kid Zone can keep an eye on your kids while you work on that dad bod. And it's all available with your family membership. Learn more at fcymca.org.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
No place I'd rather be right here than on Hogan Road. Except for could go for one of those $2 margaritas right now at the Blue Crab House. My goodness. Does that sound good? What a way to celebrate the beginning of August. They're open until 10 o'clock. They take their day off on Monday. But Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 10. Sunday, they're open noon to 9. Every single Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Tomorrow, $1 oysters. Wow. Wow. Sensational. Welcome back. The Blue Crab House, my favorite restaurant in Jacksonville. It's right there off of San Jose, located on Julington Creek Road. The great folks at the Blue Crab House. So fired up. I may have to get out there on Saturday. I think we're going to have the Jags, I believe, are going to scrimmage at like 8:50 or something in the morning. So it's going to be over by, 11:30. So I'm thinking about maybe a little beach time on Saturday, then head on over to the Blue Crab House. Always go with the Blue Crab Chef salad. And
solid advice.
Well, yeah, I'm a health freak, as you can tell by looking at me. And by the way, are we on YouTube tonight?
We are on YouTube, and you can check out that amazing bod by going to 1010XL's YouTube page.
And the new hairs that were cut today by our buddy T-Wick.
Very fashionable.
I was told that tomorrow is picture day here at 1010XL.
It is. I will have my navy 1010 shirt ready to go.
Those orders rolled in.
Yeah, well, I was told not to wear navy. I was told only to wear gray or black polo 1010XL, and I'm like, I don't even own that. And then they're like, okay, well, you can wear a gray or black one. We'll just Photoshop the logo on your shirt. And then I received an email that said, no, you know what? Wear your navy shirt. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, I was also offered an opportunity to wear a vest.
Oh, yeah, that too. I don't
I think
have
I
a
have
vest.
like 3 1010XL vests that the moment I got them, I stuck them in the corner of my closet, and they have never moved.
Not a vest guy. See,
I am not a vest guy.
We have a couple guys that work here, sales guys, love the vest.
Prosser's a vest guy.
And so is Ken down the hall, loves a vest.
See, Prosser can get away with a vest. Prosser can get away with a visor. I might go for 2 with both.
Yeah, that's like a very specific look for a visor.
I've just never understood the vest.
It's supposed to keep... I don't understand in the cold season when winter, as some call it, when you wear a vest, but it's sleeveless.
That's what I mean.
It's like, so this is supposed to keep you warm, but you don't have any sleeves on it.
You know what would be great? Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll show up tomorrow with just the vest and nothing underneath it.
Yes! Please do that.
Huh?
Yeah, like I was given specific instructions. I'm following these
Right.
instructions to a T.
Just as like a spoof, and obviously I'll have, my other shirt or whatever in my gorgeous Key GMC Sierra. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do that tomorrow.
I also noticed
I haven't gotten any trouble around here in a long, long time.
It's about time.
At least I can do is be a little bit irritable, right?
I also saw that you and another late night host are the only people who have to come in off hours. I had a chuckle at that.
Well, I would never complain about anything like that.
Never. I'm complaining
But I think
for
my
you.
way of complaining is by showing up with just that vest.
Are you a chest hair guy or are you like a hairless?
Bro, I got no hair on my body.
Same.
I mean, I get asked at least once every 2.5, 3 weeks as to whether or not do I shave my legs. And
Wow.
I'm like, no, I don't shave my legs. Let people take a look. I
Please.
have no body hair. I have very little hair under my arms. I have a little bit of chest hair.
What about the face?
Yeah, and that comes in kind of blondish, but like on my
Patchy.
chin, the left part of my chin actually comes in kind of white, which is
very distinguished look.
Yeah,
if
it's
you went with
unusual.
that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see all those.
You'd be like a professor of
Right.
of like I don't know, women's studies or something.
a professor of sports radio. It's,
Yes.
it's going to be like all the young ladies are going to be like, oh my God, look at him. He's so distinguished.
I normally am not into older men, but something about that Ballou guy.
Yeah, it's that white patch beard on the left part of his chin. So, anyway, welcome back, the good folks at the at the Blue Crab Crab House. We are just honored to be with you. Hey, since I've blown the defense here, I'm gonna have to carry that over to the top of the hour. What's the latest you got here? The latest gambling story that just came out?
So we have another athlete in trouble for gambling on sports. This one, the amateur version. So Iowa State's quarterback Hunter Deckers, who was supposed to start again this season, I guess they had some sort of probe called the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigations probe in a sports gambling, and they caught like 3 Cyclone players. One was a wrestler, one an offensive lineman, and this guy, the quarterback. So he placed 26 wagers. They don't care about gambling, but the second that you're gambling on your school, they get pissy about that. So he's accused of placing 26 wagers on Iowa sports betting events, including a 2021 football game against Oklahoma State that he was involved in, although he didn't play. He was a sophomore backup quarterback. So he had been making bets through his mother's, with his mother's name, I guess you could say, in his mother's account online. 366 online sports wagers totaling $2,799, which, do the math, folks, that's about $7 a wager. And they're trying to they filed a criminal complaint against this kid. So they're trying to arrest this guy for that. And it's not saying whether he bet on the team to lose. That's the thing to me. Like, okay, they're betting on events that their team is involved in. Which side are they betting?
Yeah.
I need to, that's the whole story.
How cool would it be if he was betting on the opponent?
I would love that. And that, to me, shows that maybe you would do what it takes to throw a game even though you're not playing or whatever. Then I could see a criminal investigation. But for this, we're going a little too overboard.
They've obviously done a really good job of sniffing out what's going on in the NFL, but there's, Division I, Division II, Division everything that goes on in college.
Oh, we haven't even begun to crack it open.
I imagine there's a lot of kids who play on Saturday right now that are sweating because they've placed a bet somewhere, somehow.
On their mom's account.
Yeah, they're just hoping that, none of this gets out. So I almost read this wrong. The 0794 says vests are for insulating your upper body and your organs. That's why there are no sleeves. I thought when I first read it, it was vests are for insulting your upper body. And I thought he was going to go on to say those who are fat or whatever, this and that, wear a vest to hide it. But it's a good thing I went back and did
but I
reread
understand that it does that to your chest and everything. But why not also have sleeves?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I have never once, because I have never once in my life been like, I'm only cold in my arms. Okay, it's not a situation like that. It's like if I'm cold, through the chest and through the stomach. So I don't know.
Your head is supposed to actually be the one that really keep. When you cover your head, it's supposed to keep the rest of your body warm as well. So maybe
is that why all those guys wear
way.
those hats? Those
little hoodie.
Well,
skull cap thing.
Yeah, stocking hats when it's like 100 degrees out.
Yeah, well, that's a new style.
Oh,
there is something wrong with young people to where the fashion trend right now is wear as hot of an attire as you possibly can. When I say hot, I don't mean sexy or revealing. I mean literally long pants, long sleeves, hoodie in the dead of summer. And there's this girl. She must walk the same time every day because whenever I'm going to work in the morning, I see her. She crosses Bay Meadows and Southside wearing long black pants, black hoodie, zipped all the way up with her hoodie over her head, talking on the phone, walks across the street every single day.
But she's getting a workout in.
No. This is a person walking to work. Wow. No workout whatsoever. 11 a.m., 90-plus degrees every day. It's wild. I just don't understand.
Now, that I can feel the difference in. When I'm outside in the heat, wearing a black shirt, you can feel the difference. There's no question about that. Here's someone saying it allows you to have more mobility. Out of 5705.
What are you trying to play basketball?
6106 says mobility, snowboarding gear, etc.
Okay.
Strategic insulation, I guess you would call it. The vest is good for the golf swing. Well,
okay.
I've got golf vests. I don't think I got as a matter of fact, I got a portion of my Miller Lite swag, and one of the things they gave me was a beautiful new Miller Lite vest. You know where you can find it?
In your closet.
Next to my 1010 XL.
I have a corner.
Vests that are over in the corner of my closet. I mean, they're just, you want to come by Ballou's home, man, have at it.
If you catch any homeless people wearing 1010 or Bud Light vests, or Miller Lite vests around town, Rick has donated recently.
All right, we're getting a lot of people now. A lot of folks rolling in telling me the vest
that's where it's at.
Is good for the golf swing. Well, here's what I got. I haven't played golf now in a couple of weeks. So I'm supposed to play this Sunday. Maybe I'll wear a nice long shirt, put a vest on over it, and let you know how I hit them.
Shoot like 75.
Coming up this weekend. All right, I promise. Thoughts on the defense, the pass rush, and my biggest concern now is nickel. That is what we will begin the 9 o'clock hour with.
Summertime fun.
Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
Now that's hot. 1010 XL.
Ballou here for Shinatri Chiropractic, the breakdown of the body. Stop fighting it. Visit Shinatri Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of JU Athletics. Back and neck pain, arms, legs giving you problems. Get an effective diagnosis and treatment with an adjustment or dry needling. How about acupuncture, which I love because it works. Get rid of your pain and tension. Call 743-6700 or visit them at 2711 University Boulevard, Shinatri Chiropractic.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
You can be part of a fishing tournament with a real local impact. The Triple Challenge Fishing Tournament, Party, and Silent Auction benefits young life in the beaches community. Learn more at JacksonvilleBeachesYoungLife.org.
To learn more about the Jericho School Golf Tournament and Silent Auction at Blue Sky Golf Club October 21st, visit thejerichoschool.org.
Dreams Come True is the only local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
The Knights of Columbus 5535 Annual Golf Tournament is November 6th at Glen Kernan Country Club. To find out how to play or sponsor, call 249-5535.
To walk in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk on November 16th at UNF. Register at lightthe.night.org.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Allen Allentown Mortgage gives you both a fast online application process and an expert mortgage advisor to get you the best mortgage at the most competitive rate in the nation. You can be a number at a big box bank and spend weeks filling out paperwork, or call Allentown Mortgage. Eric summed it up in his 5-star Google review. Allentown knows the mortgage industry. When the big boxes say no, they say yes. The whole process went very smoothly. Get the mortgage experience you want. Go to allentownmortgage.com. That's allentownmortgage.com. NMLS number 103917, 4810 Executive Park, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL FM, Jacksonville Beach.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch sports with a taco in each hand, or with a taco in one hand and a surfboard in the other. Don here from Taco Lou. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. We always have the game on here, or you can call in a to-go order to watch at home, or let us cater your next watch party. Catering for the holidays? No problem. Taco Lou in Jax Beach. Cheers to tacos, sports, holidays with the family, and tequila.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
What's the penalty in baseball for a fielder throwing his glove at a batted ball in fair territory and hitting it?
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
If a fielder throws his glove at a batted ball in fair territory and hits it, it's scored a ground rule triple.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, pretty much doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars' first practice in pads happen on this Tuesday. Back at it early tomorrow morning. Doug Peterson will speak at 8. They will practice shortly thereafter, and looking forward to it. We'll have a full report on my show beginning at 6 o'clock Wednesday night. That'll be the case Thursday, Friday, and Monday as well. All right, let's get to the defense. Let's dive into that a little bit. Very obvious today during one-on-one drills that after Josh Allen, this football team is lost as far as getting to the quarterback. Those are the facts. You know, DeJuan Smoot is signed. He's not healthy. Arden Key is gone. For those who forgot, they had 35 sacks a year ago, led by Allen, who had 7. Josh Allen has 27.5 sacks in his career. Okay, that's in 4 years. After that, you're looking at Trayvon Walker with 3.5 as a rookie. And then Kayvon Chason, who has 3 in 3 years. Those are your top 3 pass rushers. Okay? Your fourth guy is going to be a 5th-round rookie who has an incredible first step in Anton Harrison. Okay? There's no dismissing that. Now, we have witnessed that. I've watched one-on-one battles between him and Anton Harrison during the offseason. There's no dismissing that. But we're talking about a 5th-round rookie. Okay? Kayvon Chason was a first-rounder. Josh Allen was a first-rounder. Trayvon Walker was the first pick in the draft. We're now talking about a 5th-round guy. And a lot of people like him. I like him. I had an opportunity to interview him. I'm wishing for the very best here. But still, that is a major question mark. There's no way that you can just sit here and say, this man is going to give you this year. No. I'm not going to allow that. That is total, absolute speculation. After that, who else can you lean on at this point? Jordan Smith would have had a sack yesterday. It's one of the very few times so far that I've seen anything out of Jordan Smith. To be fair, I don't spend a lot of time looking at offensive and defensive guys in the ditch when pads are not on because I think it is unfair, although, aren't I contradicting myself? I just told you how good I thought the first step was on Yasir Abdullah. I guess my point is I didn't notice a first step with Jordan Smith. I really didn't notice anything with Jordan Smith. Doesn't mean he can't play, all right? I just haven't seen anything. He's been on a milk carton for 2 years. So, that is absolutely alarming to me. And then you look at Deshaun Dixon, okay? Here's a man who has, once again, is changing a position, right? And he's been asked to move up to the line of scrimmage. And, how much of a difference maker is Deshaun Dixon going to be on this football team? Let's see what his official – they list him now at 6'4", 247, his second year out of Norfolk State. I watched him jump a little bit earlier today. I believe he might have gotten back. I don't think a flag was thrown, but a little bit hesitant there, a little bit anxious there. I just haven't seen anything out of Deshaun Dixon. So if they were to play this weekend, you're taking the field with 27.5, 3.5, that's 34 sacks. Lifetime. Out of your top 3 pass rushers. As a matter of fact, 34 career sacks out of your top 5 pass rushers. Top 6 pass rushers, because 3, 4, and 6 is Yasir Abdullah. It is Deshaun Dixon, and it's Jordan Smith. Those combined have no sacks. Now, granted, they haven't played. Okay, Jordan Smith's got a couple of snaps. So you got 3 guys you have no idea about. Your third man in the rotation is Chason with 3 career sacks, 1 a year, 2020, 21, and 22. Walker, who they're teaching him a totally new position because he did not rush the passer, as we know at Georgia. And here's a man with absolute freakish ability. But I still believe most of the plays he's going to make are tackles for loss, stoning a guy right at the line of scrimmage, making plays in that fashion. I'm not going to sit here and just say that I would expect him to go from 3.5 sacks as a rookie to, 8 sacks in year 2. Again, I'd love to be wrong here. I just don't see it. Josh Allen spoke to us after practice today, said all the right things. He said that he expects Trayvon Walker to be unstoppable in his second year. He just went on and on and on. But it is a major question right now for this football team. And it's something that we've talked about the entire offseason. Jacksonville right now has more than $18,500,000 that they can use with additional help on this roster. They freed up even more money with the Evan Ingram deal. Hayes Carline thinks Unique Ngakoue. If I found out this team signed Unique Ngakoue, I'd be all in. I do not think that Unique Ngakoue is a good team football player. Okay? I watched him when he was here. I was the sideline reporter when he was here. I did a weekly show with him on 1010XL when he was here. Personally, I like him an awful lot. As a teammate, I think he's selfish. I think that he was immature. Now, maybe he has grown up. I mean, you would think maybe he learned his lesson because he seems to go from team to team to team to team, and all of a sudden here we are into the month of August, and he hasn't signed with the program. So, everyone matures. I also believe that when he was here before, there was an outstanding defense, but it was it was a diverse defense, right? You had the young guns, the Jalen's and the Aaron Colvins and guys like that who honestly looked at Calais Campbell in a granddaddy type of fashion. Calais is talking, let's listen. And then when he's done, they kind of make fun of him after the fact. Just kind of that, you know what I'm saying? Kind of the young, dog. And it was different. And, I watched Unique Ngakoue just absolutely dressed down former defensive line coach Elijah Hood. And my rule, the 8 years that I was the sideline reporter, was always, you're not allowed to report on what you hear. You can only report on what you see. Well, if I reported right now on what I heard, I would be thrown off the radio to never return. Okay? It was really bad. And, again, there was an interesting cast of characters there. Dante Fowler was a total turd. Telvin Smith went absolutely sideways when Paul Posluszny left this football team. Telvin went in a totally different direction. And Unique Ngakoue came across that way. I also believe this. Unique Ngakoue, from the time he was here to the time that he has now left, has become a better all-around football player. He truly was a one-trick pony. That's all he could do in Jacksonville, was rush the quarterback. He's branded as bad in all areas. I don't think he's as bad as he's labeled, if that makes any sense. When I talk about Saxonville and I kind of rip apart that defense, I want to be very clear here. I was talking to Dave Campbell about this today, about some of the great old Dallas Cowboy players, and we were talking about Darren Woodson, and we were talking about Deion Sanders, and we were talking about Michael Irvin, and we were talking about, by the way, Darren Woodson should be in the Hall of Fame. We were talking about some of the greats who have ever played this game and how they would separate themselves from others. There were times where they were individuals. That Saxonville defense had so many type A's, and then again, just about everyone who plays in the NFL is a type A, but type A personalities that you would expect something like that to happen. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. It was just different from anything that I've seen. It's absolutely different from the current defense. And the current defense really doesn't have an identity. That Saxonville club did have one. But the culture here is different. And that's why I think you can bring in a guy like Unique Ngakoue or anyone else if there are questions about what type of teammate he is going to be. I do believe now there's enough leadership and the right type of coaching in this organization where it's not going to be a problem. It's not at all. So if they elect to go that way, I'm all for it. There's other guys that are out there. Justin Houston is out there. Jadeveon Clowney is out there. There are more bodies that are out there. I've been talking with everyone about this. Pete Prisco and I talked about this earlier today. Prisco's opinion is, let those young guys see what they can do. You know, see what Yasir Abdullah can do. See what Dixon can do. See what Jordan Smith can do. We keep hearing that Chason's getting better, better, and better. I mean, we've heard it for 4 years, okay? I mean, this is put up or shut up time for Kayvon Chason. Prisco's point is, if you don't see anything out of these guys, then go sign Unique Ngakoue or someone right before the start of the season. And you know what? It makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, you want him to get reps. Yeah, you want him to get snaps. But Unique Ngakoue could be a plug-and-play guy for this defense. Okay. Got to take a break. I didn't realize it was this late. I want to continue with this conversation because I want to come back and tell you what I believe is even more of an issue than the pass rush, and that is their nickel, their slot coverage. We'll do that on the other side. You are listening to Into the Night.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
Your show is capable of so much more.
The Drill.
We'll try harder, okay?
Mornings.
Just give us a second chance.
On 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Hey guys, Hicken here. It's hot. The oven is on, and it ain't getting any cooler. Unless you stay cooler with Bueller. Bueller Air, still locally owned and still treating their growing customer base like they're part of the family. Go ahead and Google them yourself. Bueller Air, Buehler. You won't find better rated air conditioning company in town. I use them, so I already know. Like I said, it's getting hotter than ever outside, so stay cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air, stay cooler with Bueller.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market's been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Rotator cuff tears are the most common overhead injuries I see. In order to avoid shoulder issues, make sure not to overload the front of the shoulder while also focusing on developing good scapular strength and maintaining flexibility in your lats. Proper hydration, nutrition, and supplementation are also crucial to joint and muscle health. Go Jag.
Every weekend is a stone cold sports weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Hurricane season is here. Make sure your home is protected by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof Contracting. And right now, get 10% off roof replacement and repairs. The first 50 callers will save an additional $500 on a full roof replacement, plus flexible financing. This offer expires August 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Look, warmer weather now means mosquito, flea, and tick season is here. These pests are out for blood, but you don't have to let them win. Protect your home and family with Kingfish Pest Control. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their products are safe for kids and pets. Plus, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can relax knowing your yard is pest-free. Call today, mention the Jags to receive 10% off your initial service. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For the past 5 years in Jacksonville, J-Dog Junk Removal has been on a mission to put veterans back to work. They have successfully helped over 40 veterans find meaningful employment, and they're not stopping there. Their goal is to reach an astounding 75 veterans employed by the year 2025, all in our local community. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, having quite a few people asking me as well about Florida State and the Big Ten. I did talk about this quite a bit last night, if you missed it. There's really nothing new to report with Florida State today, so not really spending a lot of time on that. That's going to change. It may be as early as tomorrow, if not the end of the week. We're going to get something either way. And, they have until August 15th to announce that they are leaving the Atlantic Coast Conference. That whole grant of rights is a massive hump. They are locked up with the ACC and ESPN through the year 2036. That's 13 years. The buyout is $390 million. I did see Dabo Sweeney today at practice, watching Trevor Lawrence.
He was sweating like he was practicing.
Yeah.
That's how hot it was, man.
Shatley, ETN, and Trevor. So he was out there. I also noticed that Clemson is still the beast of the East, or the beast of the South, if you will. They came in number one in the ACC. Haven't had a chance to run through that.
I like that it took the ACC a week to release their media.
It always does. It always does.
Got to get the count right.
I never vote on that. I
thought like you all did when you go.
No,
they pass around a sheet of paper and everyone signs it.
Yeah. I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan of preseason voting. I take my Heisman vote very, very seriously, and obviously that's changed. I mean, back in the good old days, schools and whatever used to send you all sorts of product, swag that would really promote. I guess they made that change within the Heisman Trust or what have you. But Florida State, $390 million. Clemson, $390 million. There are some reports out there that they have negotiated their way down to $300 million. Reportedly, they make twice the amount of money in the Big Ten. But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. We are single-minded if we think about this in football-only terms, even though that's what the massive percentage want, right? And add some Big Ten hoops. Okay, add some hoops in there, especially once you get into the conference, conference games and the tournament and what have you. But again, and I say this with respect, but it's something that's being discussed behind closed doors. Football's fine. You want to go from here to USC, fine. You want to go from here to Columbus, Ohio, fine. Well, what are you going to do when all of a sudden you find out that the men's tennis team needs to go from Tallahassee to Los Angeles? Or are you going to send, the women's lacrosse team. I don't even know if they have one.
Yeah, road trip.
Out to Seattle, Washington. I mean, all of a sudden that becomes, it's not cost effective. It becomes really pricey. So there's a lot of things that they have to figure out. And I do think there's going to be some clarity here any moment. I mean, it could be as early as tomorrow. It could be the weekend, but they're going to have to decide before the 15th. I think they do understand that the commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, Jim Phillips, is in way over his head. He has proven that from the day that he got there. As I said, they really took him to the woodshed during those spring meetings at Amelia Island back in March. He's a politician who's fighting for the small guy. And that's understandable when it comes to surviving in our country and trying to do the right thing for everyone. This does not apply in big-time business. It doesn't. And big-time business is creating more money for the top-heavy teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference. If you take away Florida State and Clemson, what in the hell is going to happen to the ACC? I mean, ask yourself that question. Maybe a Miami, North Carolina game. Okay. Yeah, I'd watch that. Miami, North Carolina State. All right. I guess I'd watch that. But do me a favor. Draw me up some attractive games in the Southeastern Conference if those two teams are gone. And this is a small-minded commissioner who fights for the little guy. And he went to Illinois, which is a non-factor in the Big Ten. He was the AD at Northwestern, which is a non-factor in the Big Ten. He was an AD at Northern Illinois, which is a non-factor, period. He brought that same damn attitude with him to the Atlantic Coast Conference. Even though Wake Forest beats Florida State routinely, they're not attractive nationally. There aren't people across the country saying, oh, my God, who does Wake Forest have this Saturday? I can't wait. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with a lot of these schools. They're basketball schools. Clemson, Florida State, and Miami are honestly the only three football schools in that conference. Am I missing one? Vatech? All right, I'll give you Vatech. That'll be 4. So keep your eyes peeled on this, or your ears as well, in the know. We'll keep you updated as soon as we know, but really nothing's gone on. And you got to watch the Pac-12 too, because there's some moving parts there.
Will you be getting your Apple TV subscription?
How about that?
Might as well not exist.
How about that? I mean, we're a couple of years away from literally having just 2 conferences.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what to think other than what has happened to my college football. The college football has always been the one sport where there's the what if, right? All those bowl tie-ins forever, the what if. And now all of a sudden, I can see this becoming a sport where 2-loss and 3-loss teams are going to be screaming, we deserve to be in over them. And who knows what's going to end up happening. But you're going to have to be undefeated and have a difficult non-conference game if you are in the ACC, Big 12, or the Pac-10. And who knows what's going to happen. And if you're in the SEC or you're in the Big 10, why would you schedule a difficult opponent? If Florida State goes to the Big 10, and I'm sure Florida is always going to play, but you can really make the case that rivalry should come to an end. Because both these schools have enough difficult games year in, year out in their conference that they should not play one another. You can make the case. I think we know the answer. That's not going to happen. They're still going to play one another.
You probably thought Oklahoma and Nebraska would always play each other. You probably thought Michigan, Notre Dame would always play each other. You probably thought Texas A&M would always play each other. And those rivalries are dead. I would be shocked and appalled if they got rid of Florida State, but, I mean, should I be?
Well, who else in the Big Ten or the SEC outside of Florida with Florida State has a rivalry year in, year out with the Blue Blood? Penn State doesn't play Pitt every year. And I don't even know if you can say that those are two legitimate blue bloods, but
Clemson plays South Carolina.
Okay. I'll listen to
Not
your
blue
conversation.
bloods, but
by the way, the next time.
schools.
By the way, the next time South Carolina wins anything will be the
Right.
first time that South Carolina's ever won anything.
Cross conferences. I guess it would be Notre Dame, USC.
Bingo. That's it.
That's a good one. They still
But
play
as you
every
pointed
year.
out, Michigan Notre Dame's not even around
and
anymore.
That was just as big a rivalry.
I mean,
if
how
not
can you
as
not
big.
have Michigan Notre Dame
in September every year?
I mean, come on. That is, they're just not out there. So, listen, who knows what's going to happen to this sport? Let's get to the secondary. This is a problem for me. It really is. Now, let me start by saying I think there's a lot of potential with these young defensive backs. They're long. They really are. There's a tremendous amount of athleticism. There's some really good speed. But obviously, we're talking about major inexperience. You had a 6th and 7th round pick last year. This past season, you had a couple of 6th and a 7th round pick. So you're talking about 5 guys who are so raw and so inexperienced, but one of these men is going to have to step up. I watched and really keyed in on nickel coverage today, and Jacksonville, Tyson Campbell has a chance to be really, really good, as you understand. Darius Williams, my opinion, this is the final year here in Jacksonville. The contract is not kind after this season, and I do think that they will move along. The biggest issue that I have right now is Trey Herndon. And if I had any say in this at all, I would cut Trey Herndon. He is not a man who can cover anyone, okay? And, with all due respect, I asked Deshae Townsend about him when I had a chance to meet, and Deshae didn't like the question, and he defended his player, and that's noble, and that is respectful. But I'm just telling you what my eyes tell me. Trey Herndon cannot cover anyone. He is a massive liability on this football team. And my belief is that if there was a game Sunday, when they go to nickel, it's Trey Herndon. That's a surprise to no one. If they went to dime, it would be Chris Claybrooks. And I don't think either one of these two can cover. Okay? Now, Claybrooks is one of the better gunners in the NFL, and obviously him on the other side of Daniel Thomas. The punting game is so huge nowadays. The kicking game's gone. So special teams have been cut in half. Okay? And I'm not talking about field goals. I'm talking about the kicking game. Kicking off. You're going to have touchback after touchback, especially with the ball coming up to the 25. So it's basically down to punting, right? Punt returns, and field goals. So you've eliminated half of your special teams. Do you still want to pay these guys over $1 million a year to be your gunners? Well, to me, the answer to that question is yes, because they're $18 million under the cap, and that's not an issue for the 2023 football team. They know the system. They know what's expected out of them, and I think they're a top 5 group. Oh, by the way, Logan Cook has been magnificent so far when it comes to punting. Brendan McManus started practice today by missing a few. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't. I mean, I expect there's going to be almost no talk this year with the place kicker, unlike the last several years around here, which is a good thing. I mean, you've got a tournament-tested Super Bowl winning kicker on this football team. They have to fix the slot. And the guys who have been getting the burn right now, one is Gregory Jr., and I just found out from Jaguars PR I am going to be able to talk with him tomorrow after practice, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to run that interview at 6:20 tomorrow night. This second-year player has really stood out. Remember, he was cut a year ago. He was the 6th-round pick, right? And Buster Brown was a 7th-round pick. They cut Junior. They brought him back, put him on the practice squad. He got some burn really late. I think he only ended up with like 18 snaps, might have been active for like 2 or 3 games. But I don't think he's as fast as the others. But he seems to be in the right place at the right time. So this has become very intriguing, seeing what's going on with Gregory Jr. I want to say there's a chance there. Second guy is Antonio Johnson, who had yet another interception today. 2 more interceptions today. He had one. Eric Hallett, the rookie corner, did have one as well. Antonio Johnson, to me, is almost like he's a line of scrimmage type of player, okay? He doesn't look like a safety. He looks like a wide receiver. His weakness is coverage, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's not perfect, but he's doing some good things in coverage. He worked in the slot, as we know, at Texas A&M, but the way they played that zone rollover coverage, it was totally different than the way that Mike Caldwell likes to run his defense here in Jacksonville. So once again, you're talking about a completely new – just think Trayvon Walker, how hard it was for him to adapt to a new position. You're going to be asking Antonio Johnson to take over in the slot, even though there's a wealth of experience around him. All right, with Rayshawn and Cisco and Williams and Tyson Campbell, you still have to learn all the nuances of that very important position. And how does the coverage go, whether or not you're against a slot wide receiver or whether or not you're matched up against the tight end. It's not as easy as just saying nickel defense. It's very complex depending on how your offense is how your opponent's offense is being run. But these two are at least showing some signs. And I'm not going to dismiss the other 3. I'm not going to dismiss Buster. I'm not going to dismiss Hallett or Braswell. I think the other 4 have been above Braswell at this particular point, but hell, I mean, it's only been 1 day in pads. But that's a problem for me right now. It is. And to me, what I would rather have happen is fix it now, not later. Last year, Jacksonville made a mistake, frankly, by playing Darius Williams in the slot way too long. And finally, they realized, and they switched him, off into the island and made him a cover corner. He had a better year. They brought Herndon back, and, it wasn't all that good for Trey Herndon. Trey Herndon had a really good year 3 years ago. I think the last couple of years he's really struggled. And there's a lot of things that you can use to defend him, like no pass rush. Okay, but I just don't see it anymore with him. And I'm going to put him out there. He's going to be everyone's starter. He's going to be on everyone's 53. I'm just going to put it out there right now that I would cut him. And that does, if the Jaguar staff was to hear me make that comment, they may laugh in my face. But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, and I'm just giving you my opinion. I think he is a massive liability. And if you're going to have a liability, I would much rather have it with a guy who's faster, younger, and hopefully teachable. Trey Herndon is a smart football player. Trey Herndon is a good football player. Trey Herndon has lost speed. He can't cover. Father Time is caught up. So there's the difference, and it's noticeable. They got to get some younger guys in. Hey, final thought before we wrap it up. Really good day for the second-year backers. Devin Lloyd has improved immensely, and I think the biggest issue with Devin Lloyd is not that he's not a great football player and that he's very athletic. It's, once again, kind of segues to what I was just talking to you about with Antonio Johnson coming out of Texas A&M. Devin Lloyd's head was spinning last year. They were asking him to do so many things that I think he was so frustrated because he was always wondering, where am I supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be? He was beaten a couple times today, including the play of the game. That touchdown we talked about earlier, Zay made that incredible reception. Zay Jones had a great day. But Devin Lloyd had, really good coverage. It was a perfect pass by Trevor Lawrence. It feels like Devin Lloyd is around the ball and he is where he is supposed to be much more early on this year than he was all of last year. And he said that when we spoke with him. He says he feels a lot more comfortable. Remember, the maturation process. This kid came out of Utah as a 24-year-old rookie, just like Luke Fortner, okay? He's going to be 25 this year. We're not talking about a 21, 22-year-old. That means, I mean, that is huge with those ages. I mean, there's not much of a difference between a 52 and a 55-year-old, right? There's a major difference between a 22 and a 25-year-old NFL football player. So I really feel that that's going to happen. Chad Moom on the other side, all over the place, especially in coverage. Chad Moom is, I don't think they're going to be able to bring back Foyer. I don't think they're going to be able to bring back Aloakon next year. Now, Aloakon, Darius Williams, Cam Robinson, players like that, they're just not going to be able to afford him. You're going to have to re-sign Trevor Lawrence, and you're going to have to re-sign Calvin Ridley. You're going to have to say goodbye to a lot of these players. Very excited out of what I've seen with Chad Muma as well. So, second-year backers early on. Major improvement, at least so far, and that's good to know for you out there, Jaguar fans. All right, final thoughts on this one. We will bring in Hacker Nation. Remember tomorrow, Gregory Jr. right out of the gate at 6:20. We will talk to the second-year man trying to make a run right now at the slot position, and he will join us on a Wednesday edition of Into the Night.
1010XL puts the ball in play-by-play.
Kick on the way!
Impeccable today.
From way downtown. That ball's ripped.
For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Attention car buyers, are you noticing markups on vehicles on dealer lots? Well, come to Key Buick GMC, where we never have markups on our vehicles. Ask for Derek or Brian, where we have fair value pricing, no additional markups, as well as the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. That's only at Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade across from Tinseltown on the corner of Southside and Gate, or go to our website, keybuickgmc.com.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is everything.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too. Your quick and easy solution for paying the lowest price on car insurance is Estrella Insurance. E to the T here, and start saving the big bucks and pay less today. Call 1-800-CAR-INSURANCE and see for yourself. That's 1-800-CAR-INSURANCE or visit EstrellaInsurance.com.
Every championship season starts with training camp. From the practice field straight to you, nobody covers camp like 1010XL. Training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Leash Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Life a little expensive right now? If you need cash, Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach is ready to buy. Gold, silver coins, and flatware, guitars and guns. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn wants to buy them. See Chuck and get extra cash only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your round of golf with us. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere and spectacular golf course keeps our customers coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. There's a reason Stanley Pools is a family tradition of fine swimming pools. It's locally owned and run by the Stanley family since 1988. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build and renovate our pool, and they do a fantastic job of maintaining it. I've recommended Stanley Pools for years for pool construction, repairs, maintenance, and renovation. Call Stanley Pools at 269-7277 today to transform your backyard. That's Stanley Pools, 269-7277.
I'm Dr. Mitchell Yass, the most unknown world-renowned expert on pain elimination. That's right, elimination. If you've tried medications, injections, physical therapy, chiropractic, even surgery, and still experience pain, then say yes to Yass. I have successfully used the Yass method for over 30 years to help thousands reclaim their lives. To learn more, call me at 904-906-YASS. Let's end your pain and say yes to Yass.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
We've been telling you for almost a year about Nathan's Family Chiropractic and the 100-Year Lifestyle Network. If chronic back or joint pain is keeping you down, don't listen to me. Listen to what Jacksonville is saying about Dr. Alan Nathan.
The stem cell treatment took the pain away.
Changed my life. It's awesome.
Your body just works better when it's aligned. We're believers.
His no-needle regenerative protocols are giving people their lives back. Get yours back, too. Go to the pro in the know. Don't do another cortisone injection. He's one of us helping all of us for the past 25 years. For more info, drnathans.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Louis Arise, 2 for 5.
Luis Arraez.
Luis Arraez, 2 of 5. Got up to 381. Not bad. Not bad. It's actually really good.
He is the second leading average going into August since
George Brett?
No, sooner. And it was a Red Sox. Nomar Garciaparra, the year 2000, was hitting 391 right now.
Wow.
Forgot about that.
The Phillies beat him 3-1. How about Kyle Schwarber? Hitting 184.
It's like 25 homers.
Yeah, let's see what he hits he has as we bring in our good friend Hacker Nation. 72 hits, 27 home runs. Okay, not only that, but he's got 13 doubles and a triple, so he has
like 10 singles.
He's got 41 extra base hits out of his 72 overall. Kyle Schwarber hitting 181.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit tireoutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
All right, Hacker Nation. Good to have you with us. Pads on today for the good guys.
Yeah, probably the hottest day of camp, too. It's funny how that works out. The hottest day, they put on the pads, and it was good to see them get after it. I don't know how much you can really learn from the wide receivers and DBs, but I think, you watch the guys on the line of scrimmage, the O-line and the D-line. There were some people, some mixed feelings there, some exchanging of pleasantries, if you will. I think we're only probably a day or two away before we see maybe our first skirmish of Jaguar training camp.
I don't want to steal any thunder from you, but best thing you've seen so far?
Throughout camp, well, obviously Calvin Ridley. Trevor Lawrence to Calvin Ridley is just absolutely sensational, although what a day Zay Jones had today. And that's, Rick, really what I've been saying all along. I know you're not much of a fantasy football guy. It's a fantasy football team's worst nightmare, but it's in real life a great problem to have. This team has 5 guys, the 3 receivers, Ingram and Etienne, where every week it could be a different guy. Zay Jones could go off one Sunday, followed by Christian Kirk going off the next Sunday.
To me, Zay
and
Jones.
he looks bigger. I think
there's no question he's bigger.
Yeah.
His arms.
I mean, if you're a D coordinator, like if you're playing the Vikings, your sole purpose is to shut down Justin Jefferson. If you're playing Miami, you got to shut down Tyreek Hill. If you're game planning for Jacksonville, who are you trying to shut down? Ridley?
I'm trying to shut down Josh Peterson.
Well, there you go. Exactly. But, I mean, the Jaguars have 5 interchangeable guys.
They really do.
And I don't know how many teams in the AFC can say that.
Yeah, and they're going to cut some guys. And hopefully they can bring them to the practice squad. As I was saying earlier, I know how it works. The ego gets involved, and I think he's going to be a great football player. But Brenton Strange is going to get every opportunity. But it'll be interesting to see when they go to those 2 tight end sets. Is Garrett Prince actually going to get that opportunity because he's had a great camp?
Fantastic camp.
Oh, he's just been, and I honestly didn't see this one coming.
No.
Okay, I just did not, and because I was always a Dan Arnold guy, and I thought that they kind of fizzled him out, and obviously they did. The biggest negative so far?
Well, you haven't really seen any injuries, which has been good. I still have concerns about affecting the opposing quarterback. And I know we were talking with our buddy Pete Prisco down there and some other national media, and I think my concerns were a little more graver than theirs as far as affecting the opposing quarterback. They seem to think Calebon Chason could do something the Jaguars do. Obviously, Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen need to be your main guys there. But, Rick, for the life of me, I don't know why Justin Houston or Ngakoue, depending on how much money he wants, why you would not go that route. We'll see after a preseason game or two, but you got to get to the opposing quarterback, and I have concerns whether the Jaguars can do that consistently.
Yeah, a lot of question marks with Chason and Yasir Abdullah and Deshaun Jackson or Deshaun Dixon and Jordan Smith. So still that possibility. For the record, mine's slot, the nickel coverage. I'm really concerned about that. But a couple of young guys playing better with Gregory Jr. and Antonio Johnson. All right, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, Tyler Shatley. Had a conversation with him. You want to talk about a guy that's seen it all.
Yeah.
From Gus Bradley to Doug Marrone to Urban Meyer and now to Doug Peterson. Tyler Shatley entering his 10th year in the National Football League, all right here in Jacksonville. So we'll talk to Tyler Shatley tonight on Hacker After Dark, as well as Jared Bailey of the USA Today as we look around the rest of the AFC South.
The thing I love about hearing, Tyler Shatley is he always seems to find his way into the lineup, but 10 years, man, that man's going to have an outstanding NFL pension when it's all said and done.
We looked it up today. 10 years in the league. Again, it's not astronomical, but it's solid work. You know what the career earnings for Tyler Shatley are?
Let me see. I'm going to guess that Tyler Shatley has made – he was undrafted. I'll say $14 million.
Wow, you are right on it.
Really?
13.7.
Okay.
Yeah, 13.7. I actually was north of that. I was thinking it would have been closer to the 18 to 20 range. But, yeah, Tyler Shatley's a guy that starts a handful of games, a veteran guy, a guy that continues to make rosters. $14 million for his 10-year career.
Good for him. All right, have a lot of fun, Hacker. I'll see you out there tomorrow.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. I'm with you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Again, Gregory Jr. at 6:20 tomorrow night. So we'll do it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday right here from 6 until 8. Thank you to Parker Washington for joining us tonight. Again, folks, I don't check the text line now that the show is over. I just don't. I don't know how to, okay, if you want to know the truth. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always do so. It's no longer called Twitter. It's called X. You can get me on X at Ballou 1010 XL for JJ LaSalva. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here in your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Florida Gators and Jacksonville Jaguars, living under the same radio roof. 1010XL, flagship station of the Gators and Jaguars.
Folks, it's finally here. The return of the Blue Crab House after a massive fire. They return and they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 10, Sunday noon to 9. As always, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas, $1 oysters on Wednesday.